Shabbat Shalom. Good morning. It's wonderful to see all of you and wonderful to celebrate this Shabbat with you and of course with Aaron. I want to invite you to take this moment to turn off anything that you might have that might be beeping or might otherwise distract us as we enter into Shabbat. And our service will begin on page 74 in your prayer book.
Am I supposed to go up there right now or something?
We continue together on page 75. May the one whose spirit is with us in every righteous deed be with all who work for the good of humanity and bear the burdens of others, who give bread to the hungry, who clothe the naked, and take the friendless into their homes. May the work of their hands endure, and may the seed they sow bring abundant harvest. We continue on page 77 with the blessings over the body. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware, we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, the source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Rokefu basar umafli ba'asot. Our tradition teaches us that first we begin with the blessings of this world and of our body, and then we are able, fully sustained, fully strong, to move on to the spiritual realm. And so we continue at the bottom of page 79 with the blessings for our soul and our spirit. My soul came to me pure, drawn from the reservoir of the holy. All the time it remains within me. I am thankful for its thirst for compassion and justice. Let my eyes behold the beauty of all creatures. Let my hands know the privilege of righteous deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol b'sar ish. Our service continues on page 86 with a blessing for study and a reminder that every day we are taught we are supposed to learn something new to fill our lives with growth and worth.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asot b'divrei Torah la'asot b'divrei Torah la'asot b'divrei Torah We continue on page 88 as we do a little learning and we study these words. Elu Devarim, these are things which are limitless. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur. Ve'elu hein hibur hamayim u'bilut hasadim ve'ashkamat ve'hamidrash shamarim ve'arvin. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur. Ve'elu hein ve'hamnasat orvim u'vibur cholim ve'hamnasat kalam u'midat hameim ve'un tilah ve'hamat shalom ve'adam ve'amelot ve'talmud Torah v'neged Torah ve'talmud Torah v'neged Torah ve'talmud Torah v'neged Torah. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shiur.
Our service continues on page 100 with Psalm 150 as we praise God with the words Hallelujah, which is Hebrew, which means praise be God. And so we praise God with every part of our body, with every musical instrument, with every part of our life. Hallelujah.
Let's all join together and sing that again. Hallelujah.
service continues on page 108 with the Baruchu at the call to prayer. Please rise. We continue together at the top of page 111. In the beginning, even then, a new light was sown for the righteous, a promise that your light would become the catalyst, first for order and then for hope. Author of language and light, help us to use words as you have, to cast light into dark waters and draw out justice and truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. We continue together at the bottom of page 113. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said. In light blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries. Your light climbing the chorus as we climbed, fell, and climbed again. Your Sinai of light. Baruch atah Adonai, Habocher ve'amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto
Please be seated. We continue responsively on page 121. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let the nation not with a sword against nation, murder, war, and
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
the stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asks God.
We know that the eternal one defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of praise.
Our service continues now on page 124 with the Tefillah, our central standing prayer. I would like to invite up our Barmitzvah to come and lead us in worship.
We continue on page 124. Please rise. Adonai sefataytita ufiyati tefilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Eloheinu Eloheinu v'Imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah El HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Yom Gomel HaChasadim Tovim V'kanei Hakov V'zocher Sehevot V'yahov V'mikon Olav V'nam V'man Shmo V'yav Melech Hoser G'mosher Ha'gin Baruch atah Adonai Hayin Avraham V'yisrosh Yisrael Atah Gibor L'olam Anai Mechaye HaKolata Ba'alashia Mashivara Huavid Hagasha Mechachach Alim V'Hesed Mechaye HaKol V'Rachamim Ramim Somech Olim V'Rech Olim Umatir Asherim Uchaye Emunto U'Shenei Afar Micha Mocha Bal Giverot U'Miko Melach Melech Mimim Milchayed U'Matzin Shishua U'Kol Takol Baruch atah Adonai Hagyei HaKol.
Lekatei shivava ulam, v'shem shmati shivo, v'tovish v'marom, v'avavu v'aliyad v'yecha, v'karol zev v'amar, kadosh kadosh kadosh, Adonai tzivot.
Spirit fill us. For all eternity proclaim your holiness, your praise. O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. We are a people in whom the past endures, and whom the present is unconcealed of moments gone by. The excess lasts a moment during forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We continue on page 135. We offer thanks. We offer thanks, O God, for the Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope. The Shabbat holiness which survives our sacred living. Shabbat memories going even in darkness. The Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer relics and blessing, O God. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Please join me on page 137. And ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion, reach forward in all lands. You are our guide, and who hold us every reference. Baruch atah Adonai, she'ozcha levatzcha v'yirah v'eshot. We continue on page 138. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of the day, even morning and noon. O good one, and whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O Son, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live before you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai, your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai,
I invite you to join with me at the top of page 140 as we sing Sim Shalom. Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, Torah u'meratzah. Sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, sim, sim, sim shalom, Torah u'meratzah. We continue on the bottom of page 141. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will for carrying this message to all the peoples of earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Content its pain within our borders, and happiness within our homes, breaking the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of the world, and virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallowed every home in our heart. Praised are you, Almighty, who bless your people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-mefarech et Am Israel, v'ashalom. Please take a few moments for the prayers on page 142 and 143, or your own thoughts.
We now turn to Seder Kriyat HaTorah. Our service for the reading of the Torah on this beautiful Shabbat morning begins on page 245. The bottom of the page. Happy is the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. For its value is greater than silver, its yield than fine gold. It is more precious than rubies, no treasure can match it. At this point, we'd like to call up several of you to help us as we receive Torah from the Ark. Specifically, as our Ark openers here on the Bima, we're inviting up Shelby Leslie, Matthew Hurst, James Brodsky, and Mallory Baker. Could please join us here on the Bima. In addition, right here in the front, to receive Torah, we'd like to invite up Aaron's family. Come on up, guys. Specifically, Dolly Mandel, Aaron's great-grandmother, Phyllis Slater, grandmother, Gary Roberts Hurst, grandfather, as well as Diana and Michael, his parents. The congregation would please rise. Aaron, there is a midrash about the moment when the Jewish people received Torah. And that midrash is a rabbinic commentary. It's a story that the rabbis tell to help try to explain something. It's a familiar midrash because we often invoke it at this moment as part of a bar mitzvah service. But it's a powerful one, and so I want to share it with you as well. The midrash is that God was a little bit hesitant to give the Israelites this book, this legacy, all of the values that are contained inside of these pages. And God said, I need some guarantee that you won't just leave this book in a closet somewhere, that it won't become dusty and old and out of touch with the real world outside. If you can give me a good guarantee that you'll keep these words close to your heart, that you'll make them live in the world, then I will give the text to you. And the Israelites thought, and they said, well, you've given us these great prophets that will come in a few generations. And when we forget to make these words live, then they'll yell at us, and they'll rebuke us, and they'll tell us, you have to keep it fresh. That's a direct translation of the midrashic text. You've got to keep it fresh. And God said, your prophets are wise, but they will not suffice. Yet bring me a good guarantee, and I will give Torah to you. And the Israelites thought and said, well, a few generations, many generations after the prophets, we will have great rabbis. And the rabbis, it'll be their job to teach us. And when we forget the words, they'll tell us the direction to go. And God said, the rabbis are indeed going to be very wise souls, very wise and interesting and funny and intelligent people, good teachers, very wise. But, God said, they're still not good guarantee enough. They will not guarantee that these words will remain fresh, will remain relevant in your lives. Yet bring me good guarantors, and I will give the Torah to you. And the Israelites thought again and said, we will let this Torah rest in the shoulders of our children. We will give the stories to them. And we will watch to see what interesting and inventive things they make of it. And in that way, we will learn from them. It will remain fresh. And God said, your children are indeed good guarantors. And for their sake, I will give the Torah to you. My understanding of that story is that there's something important about this text, that it keeps us connected to what came before. It keeps us connected to the generations of our own family, all the way back to Moses, who received it from God. But that there's also something so critically important about constantly looking at this text with new eyes. And if there's one gift that you give us, Aaron, it's the gift of looking at this text through new eyes, through your eyes. And we watch proudly as you now accept Torah down to the generations of our people and of your family. We watch proudly as you take it around the room and make it your own.
May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. And may you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your hearts be filled with intuition, and your words be rich with understanding. May songs of praise ever be upon your tongue, and your vision clear and straight path before you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom, and your fulfillment be in righteousness. And even as you ever yearn to hear the words of the Ancient One of Holiness. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'achiyanu v'kiyimanu v'higianu b'zman hased. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this joyous day.
Oh, how God is like Jews of generations past. I take my place as a Barmitzvah. Grant that, with my parents' help, I may understand my responsibility as a Jew, and to show love to my family and friends, to learn more and more about the traditions of my people. Oh God, make me grateful for all that I have, and ready always to share with those in need. Then I will say, I am a Jew, because 100 generations before me there was steadfast in their faith. I am a Jew because the faith of Israel teaches love and kindness. I am a Jew because the faith of Israel teaches justice, compassion, and truth.
Elul Adonai iti, and Aramim Shema Yachdav. Please exalt Adonai with us. Let us extol God's name together. Please.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Kadosh Shemo.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. How do you live with them every single Friday? So make sure you actually let you sit down. Since I'm reading first, you want to sit right here?
Well, before we read from this Torah portion that I'll remind you is located in the handouts you would receive if you pick one up on the way in, the text itself, as well as a really nice picture of Aaron, by the way. Looking a bit Darth Vader-y, a little bit.
It's a tuxedo.
It's a tuxedo. Well, anyone in a tuxedo sort of looks like Darth Vader. It's a little bit unavoidable. But there's also some explanation in that pamphlet. It's beautifully done. That if you haven't been to a service before, there's some information there. We also want to show you, this is called the wimple. It was wrapping the Torah scroll like a belt, and it's tradition to do that because we treat the Torah scroll as a human being, actually, and more specifically as royalty. So it gets a royal belt, but we ask our students in 6th grade to create one for their bar mitzvah, and Aaron created this very beautiful one. And royal blue on the back, of course, because blue is for good guys. And I see on my side canter, I have several Jewish symbols, Hanukkah, as well as Jewish star. I see Abraham Moshe and his name written out in Hebrew, and as well as Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which if you're playing along at home, you'll notice is the theme of his kippah, as well as all of our kippot. Really creative. And then, Ken, what do you see on your side there?
Well, I see what I believe are a bunch of green grapes and pomegranate.
Green grapes and pomegranate?
Jeff? Green grapes and a pomegranate?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I'm sure that
Aaron's birthday.
well, and the pomegranate, of course, we were just discussing this in my office, is a symbol not only of the Jewish New Year, because it has a crown on it when you see pomegranate, but also the rabbis tell us, if you were to count, and feel free, the number of seeds in a pomegranate is 613, of course, which is the same number when you add up the totality of Jewish mitzvot that we receive from Torah. So a pomegranate is a very important Jewish symbol, and you'll often see them in Jewish architecture and artwork. And then grapes, of course, symbolizing the land of Israel, the produce that we received there. We are told from the story that these giant fruits were what the spies first encountered when they encountered the land. It's really beautiful, and Aaron, we're very excited to have those things that are most important to you embracing the Torah this morning. I'll say just a quick word about this Torah portion. We have a lot of detail in this Torah portion about the priestly vestments, the garments that the priests were to wear, and it's often been sort of criticized as a completely unreasonable text, because if you imagine that the Israelites are wandering in the desert, first of all, where are they getting all this stuff? And second of all, why all the formality in the desert sands? It would have been very impractical. So it could be, scholars suggest, that this is a later text that is ascribed back on the Israelites wandering in the desert. It still has great power. As we imagine that this position, this leadership position of being a priest, which basically means you're going to function as a communal leader. You are a symbol of all the hopes and prayers that the Israelites would have brought with them to the temple in terms of their offerings. And that the priest is somehow accepting those offerings on behalf of God and offering them up to God, that requires special clothing. I think it's a very powerful statement about why it is that even today, when we come to formal events, when we come to sacred moments in our life, that we note that with our clothing, that there is a power in dressing up, not only to be fancy, but to make a statement about the values of the spouse. So we're going to get into some of the detail, and specifically I want to just mention a color that we will talk about. And it's in Hebrew it's called techelet, and that's translated as a very particular form of blue that scholars, rabbis who get paid to debate this stuff, think came from one particular sea creature. The ink from that creature being a very particular shade of blue. And for centuries, techelet was also the color used for these fringes on the prayer shawls and the talit, which are also called, in the Bible, they're called techelet. There was a large gap in this practice because we lost the access to this particular, no one knew for a long time exactly how to get that color blue. And just recently, like 5-10 years ago, in Israel, a scholar started arguing that he had found the ancient biblical muscle or whatever it was for this color. And so now you'll see more and more that, again, prayer shawls are made with that color blue on the fringes. I pointed it out to Aaron because, of course, his talit that he's wearing is not only beautiful, rich blue, but also embroidered in a similar way to what I envisioned this text speaking about. And it seems appropriate that as you stand here before us leading services and teaching us a bit of Torah, that you would wear the ancient color of the priest.
I say ironic.
You what?
I say ironic.
Ironic. It's ironic. And because blue is the color of good guys.
And it's my first favorite color.
It is my honor to read a bit from this Torah portion before we call Aaron up. And so for our first aliyah, I'd like to invite the entire community to join with us in this blessing. It's on page 450. Page 200? No.
250. 250.
It's 250, right?
Miles says it's 250, I believe.
Page 250 in your Siddur. You'll find there the text for the blessing before and after. Please join with me in the blessing before the reading. Amen. V'atah tetzaveh b'nei Yisrael, and you shall further instruct the children of Israel, Vayiklu alecha shemen zayit zach petit limor, that you should take from them a pure oil from beaten olives to light the lamp. Olot ner tamid, that you shall kindle the lamps in the temple regularly with this oil. Bo'ohel moed michutz l'parochet. It's a specific place in the tent of meeting that is outside of the curtain, asher el edut, that is over the ark. Yarochato Aaron vanav me'erev ad boker, and Aaron and his sons, that's the priests, that they should burn it from evening until morning. Lifnei Adonai chukat olam, and it should be before God as a law forever. L'dorotam me'et b'nei Yisrael, for all the generations of the children of Israel. The blessing following this reading is at the bottom of page 250.
Asher Nasan Torah Emet Bechaya Sanata Hene Bechaya.
For our next all out, we welcome Dima, Stephen Slater, and Phil Slater, parents, grandparents.
Baruch Adonai Baruch
Amen. V'atah kreva lecha et Aharon achicha, and that you, Moses, shall bring near Aaron your brother, that banav ito, and his sons with him, mitov bnei Israel, from among the people of Israel, that kavno as priest, to make you the priest. Aaron, Nadav, Abihu, Elazar, Itamar, bnei Aharon. And then it names all of Aaron's sons who are to be priests: Nadav, Abihu, Elazar, and Itamar. Vasita b'dei kodesh, and you should make sacred clothing, laharon achicha, for Aaron your brother, likavod u'tifaret, for honor as well as for glory, for beauty. Vatat daber kol chachmei lev, and you should go speak to all who are wise of heart. Asher miletiv ruach chachma, who I have filled with the spirit of wisdom. Vasu et bidei Aharon lekasho, the kodnoli, and they should make these clothes for Aaron in order to sanctify him as a priest.
Amen.
Our next aliyah, we welcome up Carrie Brodsky, Aaron's stepfather.
Stay up here. You're supposed to stay up here. That's it. Very good, thanks.
I haven't done that in about 10 years.
I laughed.
Gary?
And these are clothing that they are to make. Koshen, the fod, u'il, tonet, kafetz, v'senet, ve'avnei. And they are, I'm going to read this, and a breastpiece and a ephod, a robe, a tunic, a headdress, and a staff. Vasu b'dei kodesh laharon achicha, you should make these sacred clothes for Aaron, your brother, ulvanav, and for his sons, v'chodnoli, as priests. V'hem yiklu et hazahav, et hachelet, v'hargaman, v'et tolat, hasheni v'ashesh. And they are to receive all of these special fabrics, these materials to make it with. Gold, and then there's the word tachelet that I mentioned before, the blue, and purple, and crimson yarns, and fine twisted linen. Vasuata ephod, and you are to make this ephod out of zahav, tachelet, gargaman, tolat, sheni v'shesh, most of the materials, ushtar, that are twisted into a fine woven design, maseh poshet, that is done in a thoughtful pattern. Our next aliyah, we welcome up Sandy Mandel and Don Mandel, Aaron's great Antoinette. Today, take both rows in yellow, and you should take two of these shoulder pieces, al shnei kisonotav ve'chubar, and you should attach these two shoulder pieces. You can see it goes into tremendous detail, so much so that in some versions of the Five Books of Moses, you'll actually find a picture, a diagram of what the high priests look like, wandering among the sands in the desert. Ve'choshev eforato asher elav k'maasehu minenu, and you should make the ephod match in the same manner that you made the shoulder pieces. Yinyeh zahav, tachelet, argaman, tolat, sheni v'sheish, musar. That you should use all the same materials, the gold, blue, crimson, and gold. Lakata et shtei avnei shoham, and then you are to take two stones of lazuli, takta el alehem, shemot ben Israel. You should inscribe upon them the names of all the children of Israel. Shisha mishmotam ala eben achad, 6 of the names on one of the stones. Ve'et shemot hashisha notarim, and then the 6 remaining names, ala eben hashenit kidoldotam. And you shall put the 6 remaining names on the second stone in order of their birth. Pleasure to welcome up Aaron as he now joins us here to read the Torah and share his words. For the Aliyah this time, I'd like to invite up his parents, Michael and Diana Leslie.
Ya'amod Moshe Abraham Melech Elav Shalom Abachur Bar Mitzvah Chazar Chazar V'nitchazek.
We invite to the Bima Aaron Leslie, who by honor of reading this Torah blessing and reading from the Torah becomes Barmitzvah.
Baruch hu Adonai havarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai havarach l'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Charbanu kol ha'amin v'natan lanu Torato. Baruch Adonai noten Torah.
Amen.
Matzah v'charash even pituchei chotam tefatach et shetei havanim al shit hemot and Yisrael mesabot meshav meshatzot zahav ta'asa otam v'samta et shetei havanim al kitvot ha'efod avnei zikron lifnei Yisrael v'nasa Aaron et shemotam and lifnei Adonai el chetefav et zikaron ve'asita mishpatzot zahav Ushte Sharsharo Zaha Tahor. Make Bolo Ta'asa Otam Ma Asa Avot Tata Et Sharsharo Ha Avot Al Ha Mishbutzot.
Nice job. Okay.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu emet v'chayei olam natan Eloheinu Baruch Adonai noten Torah.
Amen.
Aaron, mazel tov to you, and thank you very much. To all of your friends and family who joined us on the Bima, in honor of this occasion, we offer you these ancient words: Mishaberach Avotenu Bimotenu. May God, who blessed our ancestors, be with you as you move from this place in your life of great strength, blessing the Torah, blessing your community, blessing the entire world with your presence here, with great strength as you move to even greater strength in your life. May we watch as you proudly fill your life with Torah Chuppah and Ma'asim Tovim, a life filled with learning, of always being curious about the world, a life of strong relationships and friendships and other relationships in this world, as well as Ma'asim Tovim, a life filled with good deeds. And we say together, Amen. Amen. We now address this Torah before we continue with our service, and we invite up well, Shelby's going to come up and help us as we address the Torah, as well as Gary Roberts II. Michael will be lifting the Torah for us so we can all see these words that we just shared. The congregation will please rise.
Lizot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Lifnei Bnei Yisrael Avi Adonai Beyad Moshe Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, la 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 la. Please be seated. The Haftarah for the Shabbat is taken from the book of Ezekiel, and just as our Torah portion describes the detailed creation of the Aaron's vestments, the Haftarah reminds the people of what the temple should be like and what the temple, the sacrifices, should be like and what God said.
around in their sight so that they can keep and follow its entire
So
plan.
Torah Tabayit,
So Torah
Saviv, Saviv, Kodesh Kodashim, Hine Sohosh Torah Tabayit. This is the law of the temple. The whole area on top of the mountain, all around it,
The
is
whole
most
area
holy.
on top of the
Such
mountain all
is the
around
law
it is most
of the
holy.
temple.
Such is the law of the temple.
Shivat Yamim,
Shivat Yamim,
Seir Hataseh, Seir Hatar Ben Bakar, Ufar Ben Bakar, Ayam Ben Hatzor. Every day for 7 days you shall divide a yoke.
Every day for 7 days you shall divide a yoke as a purgation offering, as well as a young bull and a herd and a ram of the flock. All of them must
Shivat
be
Yamim, Shivat Yamim, Et HaMizbehu,
at Hamizbeh,
V'tiyaru,
for 7 days you are to purge the altar and purify it, and consecrate it.
Yichalu, Et Hayamim, Yichalu, V'Hayamim, V'Yom HaShmini, V'Hayamim, Ya'asu HaKohanim HaMizbeach, Et Kuloteichehem, Ve'et Shalmechem, V'Ratzi'iti Etchem, V'Ratzi'iti Etchem, Adonai Elohim, Adonai
When those days are passed for the 8th day onward,
offerings
the priest shall present your burnt offerings and offerings of well-being on the altar. That will show you favor, says the
Baruch
eternal
atah
God.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Tzur kol haolam
Some people believe in Martians and aliens. Some people think there's no such thing as Martians or aliens. There may be some evidence that people can point to, like UFOs, but basically it's a question of faith. Unless you bring someone to see the evidence, they won't believe. And even then, they will only believe in it because of their relationship with you. So basically, faith all comes down to a relationship. To me, become a Barmitzvah is about a relationship. It is part of my responsibility with my family and friends and having a chance to be there for all of you in my community. It is about being responsible and staying true to my work. And my Torah portion describes how the priests received laws that were handed down from Aaron to generation to generation to generation. Today I inherit the Torah, all of its stories and values that I will share with others, and there is I inherited faith that teaches about being responsible and helping others. Being in a relationship means feeling grateful. I am grateful for my family and everything I have. I am grateful for all of you that are here today, and also those who are not able to be here today.
Thank you, Aaron, for sharing some words of Torah with us.
Thank you, Aaron, for sharing some words of Torah with us. And I would like to invite up your parents to now come and offer you a blessing.
Aaron, I cannot tell you how proud I am of you today. You are growing into such a wonderful young man. even though I've been nagging you to study for the past 12 months. I'm so proud of what you've accomplished today.
At least for now, I'll stop nagging you.
At least for now, I'll stop nagging you. At least until the next important thing comes along. I knew the moment they placed you on my chest 13 years ago. It was like a ton of bricks, the heaviness I felt, not just knowing how much you weighed, but the importance of the moment and the path we would lead to help you reach the moment in your lives. Raising you to be a wonderful young man and teaching you to be strong, kind, polite, loving, and smart. When I think of you as a strong, I think about the time when you were born and the nurse had taken you to clean you up, and you took the suction hose from her and was whipping it around. That is when I knew you were a strong boy. Or the time when you were 2 and I took the modem away from the computer so that you could not play on it anymore, but it ended up back together and I blamed your dad for it. And it was at that moment I knew how smart you were. It was you who had put it back together. Not even I knew how to put that computer back together. We knew you were polite when on your 4th birthday, when you had opened your last gift, you proudly announced, "Thank you, and you can all go home now." You showed your kindness when friends came to live with us, and you shared your room with the boys when they needed a place to stay. And I know how hard that was for you to share your personal space. You have no idea how proud I was of you for doing that. Every day you show us how loving you are by all the hugs you love to give, and you're not afraid to share your hugs with anyone else who will accept them. I just want to say Mazel Tov on everything that you've achieved today, and I love you very much. I first want to give you a hug and a kiss, and I'm so proud of you and all the practice you've done and all of the work you put in. And it's fitting that your grandfather Larry, who's not with us, that his yahrzeit was yesterday, and that everything aligned just right, that you'd be doing your bar mitzvah on this weekend. We love you.
Aaron, as you have been a gift to your family, so too have you been a gift to our community. So we now have a few gifts for you to thank you for all of the ways in which you enrich our community and you make our community better. So Rabbi Brett and Heather Roger and myself have a gift for you. This is a tzedakah box so that you will always remember to turn all of the words of Torah into action and make this world a better place. We also have, the whole community is celebrating with you. So we have a certificate, not just the certificate you signed earlier today, but also from Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis, and a gift certificate from Nifty so that you can go to Israel. We also have more gifts, and I'd like to invite up Mary Roth, representing Brotherhood and Sisterhood, to come and offer a gift to you.
Aaron, on behalf of the IHC Brotherhood and Sisterhood, I present this Kiddush Cup to you to congratulate you for all your hard work and dedication to get to this point. We celebrate your commitment to your Jewish education with you and your family. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we also have a gift that I'd like to invite up Miles Roger to offer on behalf of the BJE.
That's thick.
Aaron, I've been challenged to figure out how I could somehow bring Star Wars into this presentation. I think I've got it. So I realized, not being a Star Wars fan, I realized the Jedi are a lot like the Jewish people, that they're supposed to be maintaining peace throughout the galaxy. Mm-hmm. Similarly, the Jewish people are supposed to be a light unto the nations and to be there, to, a kingdom of priests. You have been preparing for this day for a long time, And I hope you know that this is not the destination of Jewish education, but merely a stopping point along your journey. So we hope that with this Siddur that has your name in it, every time you use it and pray from it, you'll remember all of those people who have helped you get to this point and also keep you moving forward. And so on behalf of the Bureau of Jewish Education and Bureau of Jewish Education Auxiliary, my pleasure to present you with this Siddur.
Thank
Mazel
you.
tov.
A few moments of silent blessing at the bima, the ark. Would you come with me for a moment? All right, so we're going to get this on tape. We're going to have a microphone. No one else has ever heard what the rabbi says to them in these few moments of silence. But here's my blessing for you. I hope that you do understand this basic fundamental lesson about life that we get from Star Wars and comes from the Torah too. In fact, and we can talk about this more when you're ready, Lucas got it from us. Star Wars came from the Jewish tradition. I'll give you just one piece of proof, and that is that the wisest character in the whole trilogy is who? Yoda, whose name in Hebrew means what?
I don't know.
Knowledge.
Wow.
Yodea means to know something. I have more for you. I just also want to reiterate something that Rabbi Nadia just told you. That is that this, and actually Miles too, that this is not an ending of something, it's a beginning of something. And so what I was just thinking about, the pews over there, is that, remember Luke Skywalker goes to Yoda, begins his training, but then he's called away, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because he wants to hang out with his friends.
Oh, save him.
Well, save him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Yoda says to him, if you leave now, then you only got half the story. And it's not enough to sustain you over your lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And so Luke makes a promise to him that he'll come back and he'll complete his training. But I think that what Luke learns ultimately is that it doesn't ever end, right? The story continues. And we spend our whole lives trying to learn, trying to grow, trying to develop community with each other. You have so much to offer, and I'm thrilled to have a chance after Barmitzvah to be able to continue to study, to continue to hone our Jedi Jewish skills together. Thank you for sharing this journey with us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congregation, would please rise and help me endorse quickly and do a public blessing. Aaron, it is now my privilege to bestow upon you, closer, the priestly benediction, Birkat Kohanim, with which our people have blessed one another for centuries. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Ve'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, may God show you favor and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God grant you, your friends and family gathered here, kindness to one another and towards the world. And through your actions, may we all bring this world closer to a place at peace, the gift of shalom. Amen. Continue now as we return the Torah to the ark. I can do the page. It's okay.
We continue on page 257.
When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it. The world, whole Torah exists only to establish peace. Its highest teaching is love and kindness. What is hateful to you, do not do to any person. The whole Torah, all the rest is contrary. Go and learn it. Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization.
Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace, these are our highest duties. But the study of Torah is equal to them all, because it leads to them all.
Let us learn in order to teach. Let us learn in order to do.
Aaron, it is my privilege to offer these words of blessing to you. Into these hands, O God, we pass the joys and tales and tears of all of the years, dear God. We pray this boy will hold them dear, although his arms are young. They're strong enough to bear the weight. This boy stands filled with pride. Each heart sings out to celebrate. Yamon, hear the ancient clarion call. Yamon, this word speaks to us all. Approach with awe, receive the law. On this day the Torah falls. Yamon, the Torah calls. May I give you a call? We continue now at the bottom of page 282 with Aleinu. Aleinu l'shomer ha'adon ha'kol, la'atei k'dura le'otzer b'reshit, shalom asanu b'gvir ha'atzot, ve'lo savanu v'mishpechot ha'adama, shalom sam chalkeinu gadam, ve'gor aleinu kechol mamonam. Va'anachnu gorim u'mishpachim u'modim lefnei Alei Hamodim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Oops, sorry, I forgot there was a step there. Forgot there was a step there.
We pause now in our service to remember those who are not here, whose presence is acutely felt at this occasion in Aaron's life, as well as our congregation's life. The Leslie family specifically remembers Ben Mandel, Lawrence Leslie, Archie Leslie, Shirley Leslie, Donna Roberts, Gladys Thompson, Mel Thompson, Shirley Mandel, Jack Roberts, Homer Watkins. To their names, we add those who were taken from our congregation during the past month: Will Bennett, Margot Heaney, Jody Kirshner, Betty Krumsig, Donald Morin, Rabbi Gunther Plow, Marilyn Samuels, David Tysius, Shirley Seinfeld. And we add to their names those whose yard sites occur this week, the anniversary of their loss. Emmanuel Arfa, Jerry Arenstam, Edward Bartik, Boris Beletsarkovsky, Sylvia Block, Leo Blonder, Pearl Blum, Arthur J. Bornstein, Eva Bornstein, Mary Cohen, Getty Cohen, Moe Cook, Jeffrey Cohen, Jacqueline Ephraimson, Charlotte Epstein, Evelyn Feldman, Sandra Fogel, Kurt Frudenthal, Norma Funkhauser, John Greenfield, Sigmund Guggenheim, Sadie Halpern, Robert Healy, Herbert Hyman, Mary Horwitz, Belle Jaffe, Helen Kaplan, Irving Kleinman, Emmanuel Koenig, Jay Kramer, Norton Lazarus, Herbert Lowenstein, Dave Miller, Molly Moskowitz, Leon Oancia, Ida Rhines, Harry Rosenberg, Louis Schwartz, Nancy Steele, Andre Stern, Ethel Weil, Alice Weisberger, Sidney Weisberger, Morton Woolman, Milton Zwern. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yekadal, Yekadash, Yekadash, Yalad, Yekadash, Yitzhak, B'chayim, Beit Israel, Ha'agalah, Islam, Yimur, Amen. Yehi Shrei Rabba Torah Le'olam Va'ed Maya. Yibarach, Yishabach, Yispar, Yitramam, Yitaseh, Yithagar, Yithaleh, Yithalal, Yithushah, Leiva, Yitko, Yirchata, Shirata, Tushmachata, Nechamata, Damiran, Yama, Yibru, Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabba Minshmaya, Chayim, Aleinu, Ve'alko Yisrael, Oseh Shalom Yiromam, the source of peace and peace to those who mourn, comfort the bereaved among us. We say together. Amen.
Our closing song is Ein Keloheinu. You'll find the words on page 322.
We conclude our service understanding this is a day of celebration. We wish you Mazel Tov, and we'll join the rest of the festivities. We'll begin with a brief Kiddush. You want to take that?
Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, borei bri hagafen l'chaim.
And there is more of this, yes, outside. So everyone will have a chance to have some. But for now, we'll let you all come around, get a hand on the challah here. So we say Hamotzi together.
Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Oh, they're a tearing family. Please take a moment, wish each other Shabbat Shalom. Mazel Tov.
Oh, I'm sorry. It'll get better later.
Good job. Thank you.
Your glass case or not? We have it. I think your glasses, so you don't have to worry about them. Thanks.
I know what you're doing. Okay.
Great job, Aaron. Yeah.
Aaron, an excellent job.
Thank you. Where is this at?
Mazel tov. And mazel tov to you, Grandpa.
Congratulations. Is this yours? This is theirs, right?
I think it was ours. Well, not for a while. It's also 3:30. On the west side. On the west side. I'm gonna pick up some B-roll.
Fine. I got lots of B-roll to cover anything.
Okay. Love you.
Love you.